Hi, it's Chris from Implied Music. Great melodies use consonance and dissonance to tell their story. Let's take a look at a great melody right now. Okay, so the melody that I've chosen is called Waves of the Danube, and it's an old melody by a fellow named Ivanovici. Yeah, Ippolitov Ivanovici. And it was made into a popular song in the 30s or 40s. Oh, how we danced on the night that we met. Well, let's listen to the melody and talk about how the individual tones work with the chords. It's in 3/4, and it's kind of a minor melody, although the B section modulates to the relative major for a moment. I've just kind of roughed in a simple piano part. We can take a look at it on the screen as it plays. Here's the A section. It's almost like a folk melody. 1, 4, and 5 chords, 5, 7 chords. It actually starts on the 5 chord, pushing us from B7 into E minor. And we hear the 4 chord and it returns. Going to the B section, there's a modulation to G major. And it doesn't start on G though, it starts on the 5 chord of G, D7. And listen to the tone, the melodic tone that goes with the 5 chord. Well, it's great to be able to look at it all on the screen here, and let's pick it apart a little bit. The first melody outlines nicely the B7 chord, the dominant. That's a root of the dominant, 3rd, and 5th. You can see it's just using, and when it heads to the G, and we'll talk about that in a second, it's just using chord tones, nothing to it. Little passing tone, the E, down the chord tone. This G is a member of E minor. More chord tones. The 3rd, passing tone to the 5th. And then here's another passing tone in a, well, I don't know if it's even a passing tone, but you wind up on a C, which is the 3rd of A minor, 5th of E minor, 5th of B7, root of E minor. Chord tones, passing tones between the two of them. It's almost a proto-melody. It's almost like Three Blind Mice. It's terrific, and it uses chord tones in a beautiful way. It's like ringing a bell. The B section, however, does something really, really canny, and I'm just going to spread this out, and we'll take a look at it in a little more detail here. So the B section actually has sort of 2 key centers, and it starts off these notes here in G, which is the relative major of E minor. So it's like we're in a new space. Well, the G key center is established in a crafty way by first playing the dominant of G, D7. But the melodic tone, check it out, is an E. That E was the E that we just heard in the melody, but E in a D7 chord is the 9th, and it's fairly strongly dissonant. Well, it's dissonant. Can you hear it wants to go down? And it does go down, and when it does go down, it goes to D. And the D is harmonized by a G chord. So clever. And then this little moment here, the C sharp. This is lovely. 9th, 5th of the G with a chromatic lower neighbor. It makes the D pop a little bit. And then the same sort of thing. We're going to go back to the D7 chord, and now the tone is a C. We know what's going to happen, right? This C wants to go down to B, and in fact, that's what it does. There's a C against a G chord, and then a lower chromatic neighbor. This melody is so canny. We were just visiting the G major key center. But we're not going to stay in G. We're in E minor. So the next thing that happens is a B7 chord, the 5 of E minor, and the melodic tone is the 7th. And we're going to use kind of the same rhythmic gesture, the same identity. I'm on the 7th. And this A here is dissonant against the E minor. Right? There's the half step lower neighbor, but instead it keeps going down. It doesn't go back. I love this last moment. The last moment really sort of sells us. This is the cascade down the A minor chord. And then this G here, strongly dissonant against a B7. Ouch, very spicy, but it resolves downward to E minor. The whole thing. Let's listen again. It's a careful, clever, and beautiful interplay between consonance and dissonance, between tones that have been prepared in the previous phrase, showing up as dissonant in the next chord, and then resolving, creating direction. The overall direction, of course, is downward. Well, back in the day, I played this music in a ballet class quite a bit, and it's a lovely old-fashioned song as well, if you can find the lyrics for it. It may not feel like it has a lot of relevance to contemporary popular writing, but it does definitely suggest something to us. It suggests that good melodies use consonance and dissonance in careful, constructed ways to prepare surprises for the listener and to lead the ear forward. In Waves of the Danube, the melody propels us into the next phrase by creating these moments of suspension and anticipation that are resolved. A good melody is always going to move us forward. A good melody uses surprise and dissonance to create the story. One of my favorite moments in the piece is that moment right at the end, when the leap up and the cascade down really lands us back home on E. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe. ring that bell. You'll be notified when I post something new. I'll see you next time.